All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fans Discussions, continuing our Saturday night's main event review retro series. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, and let's get into this, man. This is actually a pretty cool one. Had a little bit of everything in this. You had a couple of title matches. You had a boxing match.
Yeah.
You had an unusual main event with a guy I wasn't ever too fond of growing up as a kid. This was live on February 15th, 1986. They aired it March 1st, 1986, from Phoenix, Arizona. Just a little over 12,000 fans in attendance. So it was pretty jam packed. Ventura and Vince, as always, doing the commentating. Love to hear Jesse. Don't like to hear Vince. So let's get into it right now. The opening contest in this one, and these matches were to lead up to WrestleMania 2.
Right. Yeah, this is the setup. Yeah, you can see that they were setting up.
Especially the Hogan match.
Mm-hmm.
This one actually was the first one that set up a match. It was a boxing match between Mr. T and battling Bob Orton.
I like how they had Mr. T in the beginning. He was training.
Yes. And then cool. Mean Gene mentions Rocky to him. Yeah. And he goes, "This ain't no movie, fool."
He said he took a dive for a paycheck.
Yes.
That's what he said, yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. And this had pretty much what you got at WrestleMania 2, because this set up eventually Mr. T and Piper, and not getting sidetracked, but we've discussed that was way wrong for both of them. In any event, this went to just the second round. This was, I think, a setup for a 10 round. And this was chaotic from the word go, because there was more brawling, wrestling, backstabbing. The one thing I really liked was when Mr. T just sent Orton literally over the rope and onto the table.
Yeah.
Good night. And poor Randy's dead. And again, round 2, it ends. Mr. T gets the victory. And this will set up Mr. T versus Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 2. So I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, but
it was a little comical.
Then they beat him up. Didn't they beat him up at the end of the match?
They beat him down at the end. They beat him down at the end. And so again, that's the rivalry still renewed.
I didn't understand why Hogan didn't come out to help him.
Yeah, that was puzzling to me. That's your boy.
Right. He can't. Didn't he come out to? I don't see. I don't remember the live broadcast. I probably didn't even see it when it was live, because you know how they dubbed the music. But he came out to Real American in this, and I don't know if he really came out to Real American or they just redubbed it. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so long.
But either way, Hogan's his boy, and Hogan didn't even come out to help him. He's like, he just forgot about him.
Yeah, I didn't. That was mind-boggling to me and a little puzzling, but it is what it is. Mr. T held his own. So, I mean, I know Hogan had a match later on that night, but yeah, I would have still expected him. This is what Hogan does to his friends, and then you wonder why he keeps fighting them all. I mean, Mr. T's the only one he didn't get in the ring with, in all honesty. But Mr. T was the type of guy that he had the ability to be there, just wouldn't do the work. So
he was an actor. I said this before. He's an actor, man.
He's an actor, but he was
not a wrestler.
He had the physique in the ring. I really think with the training,
that doesn't mean anything. The physique doesn't mean it means nothing. Yeah.
He was drawing. I mean, even though he was an actor, he was drawing fans. Yes, I know that he was drawing it because he was an actor. But just imagine if he would have made that a full-time career. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible. Jeff Jarrett could have been good at one point. Just saying. In any event, we move on to our next match, which was I went up, got a snack, and I came back and I saw a 5 count. So it was pretty much over and done with. It was Steve Gatorwolf against King Kong Bundy. Now, at the beginning of this is where Bundy was solidifying WrestleMania 2, and bad choice for a main eventer for WrestleMania 2. I'm sorry. You know what I really would have enjoyed WrestleMania 2? Andre versus Bundy. Get these two behemoths in the ring. Yeah, let's see what they could do.
No, but I actually did like the whole Hogan versus King Kong Bundy, because if you know anything about Hogan loved facing like the monster heels.
Yeah,
because he wanted to overcome the odds.
Set him up. Yeah, they always that was their thing for him in the first few years.
I thought Bundy was fine in that role. I mean, the match ultimately wasn't great, but I thought the setup was good though. I didn't mind the setup. I thought it was good. It was Bundy was believable to me as a kid, especially. He was believable.
When he came back, not so much.
No, no.
It's like I'm even surprised with the youth movement that he even came back in '95. I mean, he wasn't old, but he didn't fit in. This was a 41-second fight. I mean, pretty much a squash, a splash, we're done. 5 count, typical Bundy, famous 5 count. That I did like because he was so confident
the Bundy
in his
5 count.
beatdowns
Yeah.
that he wanted a 5 count, which was cool. And again, this sets up. He makes the ultimate challenge to Hogan for WrestleMania, and eventually he'll get it. One guy didn't actually in our next match didn't. I don't know if he didn't appreciate that. He was frustrated, period, because his manager had suddenly come down with the flu that he claims Hulk Hogan gave him. And when you see Mr. Fuji laying there, I love that you put an ice bag over your hat. Yeah, that's believable. But in any event, it was Hulk Hogan defending the WWE title against the Magnificent Morocco. And Morocco was over there frustrated. Said, everybody wants what I got. Well, yeah, everybody wants what you got. And you don't awfully get it that often, so you got to run with it. This one was actually a pretty decent match. And Bobby Heenan took over for Mr. Fuji for this match since he was ill. So I like this match on there. Morocco went toe-to-toe with Hogan. I love when Ventura was talking about how Hogan's cheating, raking the back, and then Vince was like, well, he was just doing it a few seconds ago. You didn't say nothing about that. So this was a 6-minute, 53-second match. Hogan wins by disqualification thanks to Bobby Heenan coming in. And, of course, Bobby Heenan gets the classic Hulk Hogan butt whooping. But I always liked when Heenan got his butt kicked by the Warrior. That was cool.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because he really, sold those punches and stuff. It was classic. But Hogan and Heenan, rivals for years, even going into WCW. I mean, that's what I loved about it. It's like they
carries over.
Exactly. And then Heenan's always the heel. But when Hogan was NWO, now Heenan's all of a sudden fan favorite type thing. It was just it was classic, just the banter between the two back and forth for years.
Yeah, that was great
stuff. Now, as a result of at the end of this match, here comes Bundy. And now Morocco had him held up against the ring post, the corner. Bundy gives him, what was it, about 3 splashes up against the ropes. This is what set up the rib injury for WrestleMania when he was padded up. And he gave him the splash, and they're like, oh, I really think he's knocked out.
This was good stuff, man. This was good stuff. As a kid, you love this stuff. Seeing Hogan get against the odds, Hogan gets beat up. You're like, oh, what's going to happen? Maybe he's seriously, because, you think at this point as a kid.
It's real.
Right.
At that age, because what are we, about 7, 8 years old?
This is,
you think, 80 was 86. So, about 7 or 8. So you think as a kid that, I know. You think you're, it's real, and your hero just got hurt. And you get upset and stuff. How many kids did that when it came to Earthquake too? I mean,
so that same thing. But so Hogan gets sent to the hospital in this.
Yes, and Mean Gene is.
They're all worried about him. Yeah, they're all worried about him.
Monsoon's over there directing traffic, telling the reporters get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that was good. No, this was well executed. And at the very end of the show, Vince McMahon says how he's okay. Hogan says he's leaving the hospital soon. So, and that let us.
The guy that they interviewed, supposedly a doctor.
Yeah, so it was good.
I don't know about that, but this was a good. If Bundy didn't convince him by challenging him, this convinced it, solidified our WrestleMania main event. So, and again, when Hogan fought the Heenan family, it was always good stuff. Like you said, the match was but the lead up to it
was good. Yeah.
So now we go to our second title match, which was pretty good. Now, I love how they were called the Dream Team, but they never said it. Like not at least until I think after WrestleMania 2. They always just said Valentine and Beefcake, but they were the Dream Team, managed by Luscious Johnny V. And I always forget because that Brutus the Barber Beefcake was a former tag team champion. Because when you see him trying to get the Intercontinental title and always getting hurt. You always forget, he was a champion.
Well, because he wasn't Brutus the Barber.
Yeah, he was just Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah.
And he had that same look that he brought back when he became the Butcher in WCW.
Yeah.
Had that serious hitman type look, which I liked. And then the Valentine is, what would Gorilla Monsoon call him once? Boxcars or whatever when he was with Honky Tonk Man. I don't know. Valentine to me was always I never got on board with him. I could never.
He's a good wrestler.
He was, but just something about him bored me.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but he was still.
he was Intercontinental Champion for a while. He loses the belt. Then they put the tag team titles on him almost right away. So and Beefcake and Valentine looked pretty good as tag team champions, and they were challenged by the British Bulldogs, who actually beat them a few months prior in a non-title match. So they got the shot here. Eventually, the Bulldogs will beat them for the tag titles. On this night, with Albano in their corner, the 12-minute even match, the Dream Teams gets the victory.
Yep.
So then I believe this sets up WrestleMania as well, because they fought at WrestleMania 2. So I mean, it was a good match. It's a good feud. Dynamite Kid looked excellent. And
something happened at the end, because I forget who gets the pinfall, but it's kind of like a lucky, like he kind of falls on him.
Yeah, it was one of those happenstances where they just got lucky and they get the pinfall.
But it was a good match though. Then the Bulldogs showed that how good they were.
Yes, and Dynamite Kid, the Spitfire. You watch Dark Side, and now you kind of see the passion that he had back then. That I'm the little guy, but I'm going to show you I belong. And they looked pretty good. I liked them back then. Good. This one was a good one. Our main event, however, I never got behind this guy. I don't know, just something about Adrian Adonis that I didn't care about. I know he's a former tag team champion and whatnot, but it's not so much the gimmick. It's just the way he is, I guess, in the ring. I don't know. Not a fan.
This is the end. This is the end of Adrian Adonis, though.
He has one more year.
But this is the end of him. So I don't know. Apparently, I haven't seen his early work, but apparently, I think he was one of the bigger names.
Yeah, he was a former tag champion with Dick Murdoch at one time.
But I never saw him back then, so I don't know. But this version,
this was a new gimmick for him.
Yeah,
he didn't really do this when he was in the tag team. It's funny that he has he fights in the retirement match for Piper, yet Adonis is the one that leaves pretty much, and then unfortunately what happened to Adrian. But yeah, I even with this gimmick with Jimmy Hart and his manager, it didn't click to me. And JYD, I'm a fan of, so and of course JYD is feuding with Jimmy Hart's group because he just came off the feud with Terry Funk. So JYD gets the victory in this one, 8 minutes 45 seconds. Not much you can say about this one. Again, not a fan of Adrian, but JYD looked pretty good in the ring.
Yeah,
it was. This was an average Saturday Night Main Event. Again, this is only the 5th one they've done.
I thought it was decent. I thought it was good, and it set up WrestleMania. So that was what was important.
Yeah, we got about 3 matches pretty much come out of this.
Yeah, so that was it. All right, so we continue
the short and simple with the Saturday nights.
We'll be continuing the Saturday Night's Main Event series. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys soon.
Take care.